It's 10 o'clock, and this is Fox 10 Talks. The picture on your screen is one that if you were the guy who was driving down this road in Louisville, Kentucky, you would never forget that image. That plane, literally within probably 2 seconds from that dash cam image, was going to crash. And all of these images that are coming in and the video as well are going to be able to help NTSB investigators try to piece together what happened for the plane itself to crash. And by the way, one of the big clues now, they're going to start going backwards in time. We learned late yesterday that that aircraft, which by the way was pretty old, it was more than 30 years old, 34-year-old MD-11, had spent many weeks at a maintenance facility in San Antonio. The NTSB announced that. And apparently it was there for one of the things they were looking at was that maintenance had discovered a crack in one of the fuel tanks. And that then was part of what they were trying to repair. And that is just, one component of hundreds on an aircraft where you got to make sure everything is running fine. Now, I've been told that the age of an aircraft, for the most part, really doesn't matter whether it's brand new or 10 years old or 15 years old. I don't know about 34 years old, but that in most of those instances, as long as it is properly maintained, these planes are built to fly for hundreds of thousands of miles and for year after year. So the plane apparently was out of service from September 3rd until October 18th, but I do not believe that after it was returned to service, I don't believe that they delayed it much after that at all, after they wrapped up service in Texas on October 18th. So it had been flying for a while, but still, what happened that led up to this really horrific plane crash? That's what they're going to be. By the way, they'll have a preliminary report out within 30 days, but as so often happens, the final report probably won't be out for a couple of years. But these family members, of course, are heartbroken. The death toll has continued to rise, and they have been out pretty much literally in the hours since the plane crashed. And we can, matter of fact, let me just roll this video right here. This is what, this is a guy driving down the road, got a dash cam going, and you see that, and it almost doesn't look real. By the way, then you see that other aircraft. I think, having looked at this video, look at this. I don't blame that guy one bit, or that guy as well. I mean, I don't believe those buildings caught fire. That's some sort of a tire shop. But some of the buildings nearby did. And there's a young mom who is still listed as missing. I mean, the story just continues to get more and more heartbreaking. But, we're hearing from eyewitnesses and people who were working in some of the shops nearby, some of the buildings nearby, said that you literally could almost instantaneously feel the heat as the fire unfolded. So, heartbreaking story. Any more new clues come in, but right now, as they trace it back, they're going to dig through it with a fine-tooth comb to figure out what was going on at that maintenance facility and just the decision that was made to return it to service. Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Hoon. This is Fox 10 Talks. 2 hours of the day's most interesting news stories and, of course, your conversation as I look right on there. And, I'm looking at some of, here's Johnny with a good morning, everybody. And Mike Fernandez says, I was like number one today. I don't know. YouTube got into this thing where they're ranking all of the commentators, or at least the top 3. Congratulations to you, that's for sure. Several other stories we're following, including what's going on at America's airports. Let's get right to Danielle Miller's report from earlier.
Yeah, Good morning, and we're already seeing those cancellations as well as those delays. We're talking about arrivals and departures in and out of Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. You can see right there, canceled. We do have some of those delays on the board. Flagstaff, Denver, Salt Lake City, some of the cities that we're looking at that are having those cancellations. So if you do have a flight coming up, definitely want to pay close attention to it to make sure that you will, in fact, be taking off here, because the FAA says these flight cancellations are needed because air traffic controllers are not getting paid because of the federal government shutdown, and many are calling out sick. The FAA says flights are cut by 4% today. It will go up to 6% on Tuesday and will continue to go up until it reaches 10%. And things were already pretty bad here at Phoenix Sky Harbor for travelers. Ahead of this, there were hundreds of delays and cancellations in the days leading up to this. So some passengers here at the airport telling Fox 10 that their flights were several hours behind.
Really frustrating, like especially for common people.
Definitely not a pleasant feeling, but yeah, I think in this situation we're kind of understanding of that.
Yes, delayed by 2 hours.
And it's a different story across the valley at Mesa Gateway Airport. The smaller airport reporting no issues yesterday, despite the issues we're seeing at Phoenix Sky Harbor and at many other airports across the country. So many airlines are offering the passenger refunds there, even if you did not purchase a refundable ticket. It's highly recommended you check with your airline before heading to the airport to see if your flight is taking off today and what your options are if you are canceled or delayed. So once again, this is just at the 4%, next week ticking up to 6%. Eventually ending on 10% flight reduction. So this is just the beginning. Things, unfortunately, from here on out will only get worse as the government shutdown continues. We'll keep a close eye on it as things continue here at Phoenix Sky Harbor this morning. We'll send it back to you guys.
Yeah, and the reports, Celeste, that I've been seeing indicate that there are several dozen flights already today that have been canceled at Sky Harbor.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are probably thinking, how do I get around this? Mm-hmm. You know, let's say you're not planning to fly to California or New Mexico or Utah or Colorado. Let's say you have a flight out to the East Coast. Yeah, you know, is it going to be canceled? Hey, we don't know.
My daughter's planning on flying here for Thanksgiving from Salt Lake. That's a one-day drive. You can make adjustments, but you're exactly right. If you're going to New York or Chicago, it ain't going to fly, literally. Let's find out how it's all playing out now in terms of getting closer to a shutdown. Here's Shannon Bree. Shannon.
Hello, Ron.
Okay. So, Shannon, help me understand this. Why wouldn't this work? The president calls the top Republicans and Democrats to the White House and says, here's what's going to happen. You're going to vote to open the government. One day later, we will meet here at the White House and negotiated some kind of updated subsidy for Obamacare. It won't be everything the Democrats want, but it won't be zero. We'll try to get the best deal we can, but I'm not going to add $1 trillion to the deficit. Why can't that happen?
I think if they were on better terms, maybe that could happen, but these guys are not speaking to each other. A lot of them, that would be a part of that scenario. Now, the good thing is there are bipartisan conversations going on the Senate side where they're going to vote for the 15th time today on that funding measure that the House sent over weeks ago. But there are some sweeteners in the pot, some other promises like a vote on the Obamacare subsidy extensions and some other things. Will that be enough to move enough Democrats from no to yes to essentially get the government going? The House will have to run back here for anything that's substantive and changing. They're talking about changing the date because now November 21st for funding doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Maybe push it into January, but the Speaker says everybody's on 48-hour notice. If the Senate gets something done, the House comes back.
So I get that Chuck Schumer really is intimidated by AOC, and I don't see Schumer winning a primary whether she runs against him or somebody else. So that's probably the way that's going to go. But there've got to be 5 or 6 kind of moderate Democrats who, you know, don't feel necessarily that part of the party can really intimidate them. Maybe they just won re-election in the last year. Who are those key people that might actually help to put a final deal together?
Well, and you think about those, you also think about those who may be retiring, like Gary Peters and Jeanne Shaheen. I mean, there are those who are willing to have those conversations have crossed over on some of the votes. Obviously, Senator Fetterman's willing to cross over and vote on these things as well. You really just need a handful. But the leaders have always said the last few weeks, including Senate Majority Leader John Thune, it's not going to be the leadership that gets this thing worked out. It's going to be rank and file. It's going to be people who are those more centrist moderates who say, listen, enough pain already. Let's get this thing done. And it sounds like those are the folks that are having those conversations.
So which way is the wind blowing in Washington? On the one hand, Shannon, when you look at the results, I've read a number of pieces that say Democrats further to the left are actually emboldened by what happened on Tuesday, and we might be less likely to see a deal anytime soon.
Yeah, that's what it's starting to feel like. We thought maybe after the election, whichever way it went, it would be kind of that pressure point. People would say, okay, the results are in, we've made our point, let's move on. But it does seem like Democrats feel very emboldened, and they're saying things publicly to that effect that, you know, you've got Senator Chris Murphy out there, you've got Senator Bernie Sanders out there saying things like, you know, we can't now fold and not extract anything from the shutdown because we think Democrats finally saw us acting tough with President Trump. That helped us Tuesday night. If we're going to get help from them into the midterms next year, we've got to stay strong. So they're not just thinking about the immediate impact. They are thinking politically into the midterms, which Republicans say, hey, there are real world people being impacted by this stuff every day. This isn't a game. It's not about politics. Let's get this thing done, get those flights going, get the SNAP benefits back, and get people back to work.
I love to learn every Sunday morning at 8 watching your show. Who are your guests this Sunday?
Well, they include DNC Chair Ken Martin, and we're going to talk to him about the split in the party. Is it the Zohran Mamdani, the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Are they running the party now, or is it the old guard? You know, some of them retiring now.
Okay, Shannon, thanks. We'll be watching out here in Arizona, that's for sure. See you next week. Okay, so very interesting what she had to say. I mean, you're really, if you're paying close attention, I think all of us are now.
Yeah.
We're still wondering, is there going to be a group? They're staying there the whole weekend. I don't think they're staying there to play golf. They are actually talking, both sides, supposedly.
So they're locking the door and throwing out the key.
That would be the next step. Maybe by next weekend.
Oh, wow.
All right. Mystery Cam time. Oh, is this a beautiful location? And so, ladies and gentlemen, we take a quick break. We'll be back with you in 2 minutes. Oh, we're laughing.
Oh, my
Why not?
goodness.
Because, if our mics stayed hot the whole
Oh, my
60
goodness.
minutes, you guys would be laughing right along with us. This is so beautiful, Celeste.
Yes.
That let's see what we're getting for some of our guests.
Okay. Well, it's very hilly.
Yes, it is hilly.
We do have some green and some tinge of fall colors.
By the way, Brandon Miguel, who is a very, very loyal everyday Fox 10 Talks viewer on YouTube, says
Yes.
Idaho. I was chatting with Brandon yesterday on Instagram, and
Okay.
he sent me a photo. I'll have to call it up one of these days of me and Rick D'Amico and Jen Burgess,
Oh, wow.
who was doing mornings here more than 20 years ago when we were doing the Salvation Army bell ringing one day.
Yeah, I remember. I like Jen Burgess. We're friends on Instagram. We work together.
Very successful in real estate now.
Very.
Yeah.
I've seen her in Cool House.
Oh, good.
Yeah. We worked together in Flagstaff for a few years.
So Brandon says Idaho, Halakita says Tennessee, Low Philosophy says Utah, and RLS Vid says Golden, Colorado.
Here's Johnny, the Smoky Mountains.
Oh, nice. I like RLS Vid's also hedging his bets. First, it's Montana, but by the end of the break, he changed to Golden, Colorado. Come on. Yeah, it's totally allowed to change your guessing.
Oh, my goodness. Absolutely.
AZ Raider, California.
Okay, let's look deeper into this city. Does it look like it is a true valley?
Yeah, it really
like
is.
some of these homes are like right, and it looks like maybe there's a lift there to the left. You see that?
Yeah, that's right. Good point.
What are you going to go with, Ron?
Probable ski area. I'm going to wait for you to guess, and then I'm going to guess.
Oh, you sound like Gary when I were at a restaurant. I'm like, what are you going to get for lunch, honey? I'm going to order after you
Way
order.
to go, Gare.
Yeah.
Where to hedge your bets.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the Colorado.
Okay. I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Bless you, Big D.
Because to me, it does look a lot like the Smoky Mountains. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any type of a drum roll, we need to get a sound effect. There you go.
Here it is.
Here she is. And we have a what?
Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
It is Tennessee.
Is that the Smoky Mountains? Is that where
It is the Smoky Mountains. It's so beautiful. And you know what you don't realize? It's so mountainous right there. And there are all kinds of places to stay, and there are hikes to do, and little rivers to go fishing in. But only about a 15-minute drive from there is Dollywood.
Oh, how cool!
Yeah, in Pigeon Forge. And when we went through, we didn't have time to go to Dollywood, but they had this. It was like like one of those alpine slides where it's like a miniature roller coaster.
Oh, cool!
And it was called Goats on the Roof. They had goats up on the roof of this building.
Oh my gosh, how
and you
cool.
were sliding around all around the goats.
How fun!
Goats on a roof.
That is actually like a memorable experience. Listen, as I was thinking, why do they call it the Smoky Mountains?
Okay.
Because of a persistent blue haze that hangs over them, which is caused by a natural phenomenon of fog and mist.
Look at it.
This
you can
haze,
kind of tell.
Yeah, the haze is formed by volatile organic compounds released by the vast number of trees and plants there that you see in the mountains.
Vast number of trees and plants?
Combined with high moisture levels.
Oh.
So the name is directly inspired by the Cherokee name for the region, which is Chaconage, which I believe, I may have said that incorrectly, but it means place of the blue smoke.
That is today's 1 Minute Professor Insight with Professor Rodriguez. That was beautiful, Celeste.
Thank you, Ron.
I love to learn. I say it every day. I hope you guys, if you watch for the full 2 hours, I hope you see something you've never seen before. I always say that. Or learn something that you didn't know before. And there's some cool stuff right there about the Great Smokies.
It keeps you young.
Okay, let's go to, we created this thing called what do we call this, Celeste? The
Poll Q Re-Q.
And it involves you guys. The voting that we had yesterday was off the chain, as some of the youngsters like to say. Because check this out. We had let me go over here. We had on our QR code alone, Nancy Pelosi to retire. What other big names do you want to see? Chuck Schumer, 64%. That's the kind of thing that you could get both Democrats and Republicans voting for Schumer.
Yes.
A lot of Republicans are like, oh, you're obstinate. We can't work with you. A lot of Democrats are like, You work with the Republicans too much. We want AOC. So President Trump was a distant second at 24%. Bernie Sanders, 8. RFK Jr. A little insight. I was chatting with Big D, and I said, let's touch base with the RFKJ himself and see if we can't get him on as a guest here on FTT.
If we did, we've got to make at least 30 minutes.
Okay.
Because as an independent,
yes,
right now he's working for the Trump administration.
Yeah.
But as an independent, I think he has a lot of things to share, and we could even ask him about the Kennedy family.
Well, okay, and I want to ask him about aspartame. He's been in office, for how many months now?
Yeah.
And we've had all these studies and I have totally sworn off aspartame. Occasionally I'll have a Diet Coke or something, but there are so many healthy options. It cracks me up. These soda companies look around and they're like, oh, look, people want these healthy sodas. So then they have to go out and spend $1 billion to buy them.
They're so
when
pricey.
They had the opportunity right in front of them to make sodas without aspartame.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to
They're lazy, Ron. It's lazy.
We're going to talk to him and find out whether or not anything's in the works there to try to get that removed.
Okay.
Now, let's go on to the other results in the poll Q-Req. Ladies and gentlemen, here's what it looked like on YouTube, Celeste.
Okay, wow. 7.8 votes? 4.8 thousand.
Yeah.
So Chuck Schumer, 44% of you say, maybe that's a big name. You should you'd like to see retire. President Trump coming in at 39%. So a lot of people voting on that one. This was one of the most popular polls we've had as of late.
It really was. You never know from a day to day.
I think today's may rival that.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're getting close. This one's huge.
All right, let's go to it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, today's poll question is this. Is it time for some compromise? 10% say yes. Democrats vote to reopen. Republicans work on this health care situation. 63% say no. The Republicans passed a bill. The Senate Democrats need to approve it. And then 27% say no. Democrats should keep the government shutdown going until they get those subsidies for the ACA. Now, you can grab that QR code. The thing about the QR code is the moment the next person votes,
yes,
these numbers automatically change. So sometimes I like to keep it up for an extra 15 seconds just to see who the next person is that voted.
Oh, and see that the numbers move, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And they just did.
Oh.
Okay, so then you go up to 12, and then 13% say, okay, yeah, Democrats vote to reopen. Republicans do it and work on some health care. So we'll see. I mean, the president didn't say he did want to try to negotiate a deal with the Democrats, but it sounds like he's waiting for the government to reopen. Now, Celeste, what do you see when you look at YouTube?
So the YouTube, this is mostly people who are obviously voting online or watching on their phones. Yeah. Government shutdown, is it time for compromise? We have now I just refreshed, 1.8 thousand votes in just the last hour. Wow. Right now, the big one is no. Democrats need to hold out for ACA subsidies. It's 43%. Okay. No. Republicans passed a bill. Senate Democrats need to approve. 33% on that one. This one is fairly split, like three ways. And then, yes, Democrats vote to reopen and Republicans work on health care. 24% say that one. So you can see that we have some people saying, no, Republicans passed a bill. Senate Democrats need to approve. And no, Democrats need to hold out for ACA subsidies.
Yeah.
This is going to get very interesting as we're in the middle of the longest government shutdown in U.S. history.
Yeah. Okay. So especially since we showed you the poll Q-Req, and we did have thousands and thousands of votes. Let's bring the man himself in, ladies and gentlemen. He looks over all your comments, select some of the best to be chatted about with all three of us.
Big D.
What do you see? What were people finally saying about all of their options of who they would love to see out on the golf course or on the beach?
The course. Wow.
Well, like a Chuck Schumer on the beach.
Oh, yeah. In in the swimsuit. Like, what are you talking about? Ron, where are you taking this conversation?
Or, I don't know, RFKJ out on the golf course, whatever. Yeah. Dave, what do you see?
Look at Dave's face. He's confused. He's like, what's happening here?
Keep It Moving 77 says Mitch McConnell should have left decades ago. He can't even walk upright these days without someone holding him. Weekend at Bernie's comes to mind. Thomas TMC says all of them. Term limits, term limits, term limits. Every position, including those of non-elected officials, should be temporary and less than the better part of a decade decade in total. And finally, Carrie's Corner says, how about Chuck Grassley, oldest at 92, assumed office in 1981, Grace Napolitano, Bill Pascrell, Hal Rogers, Maxine Waters, Steny Hoyer, Jim Clyburn, Danny K. Davis, as well as a few others. Not just that they are all over 80, but all were elected prior to the year 2000, some in their 80s. Some in the 80s. Ridiculous to have someone serving in office that long, as it seems they are no longer representing their constituents and only themselves. Need term limits, but Congress would never do this to themselves. Article 5 of the Constitution, Convention for Proposing Amendments, would be the only way to accomplish this.
I think I agree with them. If you're not relating to your constituents, I think that, I don't know. I mean, unless you're a super hip grandpa or grandma, then I think it might be time to just, divert and try something different.
Divert. That's the way.
Pivot.
Divert. Do something.
Do something fun. Enjoy your, it doesn't mean it's the end of life when you retire. It's just doing something different.
That's exactly right. Hey, Dave, while you're here, there's another topic I wanted to ask you about. Celeste, this one's trending.
You're here.
Yeah. It's
While you're here at work, we're all working.
While you're with us.
Oh, look at that
still
stretch.
Getting in your stretching. And, we've never caught Dave actually doing his calisthenics, though.
Oh, wow.
Have you noticed that?
Oh.
Yeah, touchdown. Every morning.
Isn't that the Heisman move?
Sort of. It's impressive to watch Dave when he first gets into work with the toe touchers, and then he does the windmill for about 10 minutes.
The arm circles.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, now bigger.
Anyway.
Okay, backwards.
So, trending this morning, I think it's out of BuzzFeed, is what are some things that we could all learn from the older generation? You guys tell me if you agree with some of this, or if you have some other ideas. Ready?
Yes.
What are some habits we could adopt from the greatest generation, as they're called?
Yes.
Saying nice things to strangers.
I agree.
Dave, are you on board with something like that? Do you ever do that?
I think we should be kind to strangers. I think
Who wants to be mean to strangers? Who wakes up?
Hopefully no one.
Who
wakes up in the morning and is like, I'm going to be mean today?
I make eye contact with almost everybody I walk by.
Yeah.
But
it's important.
A lot of people don't. They walk right by you, and it's like, are you in a bad mood?
They look down.
Are you in a bad mood? Are you really into your phone? It's that kind of a thing.
Do you know what you do when you see somebody like that?
Huh.
Hey, how's it going? How are you?
Yeah, right.
Good morning.
Sure.
Hi, yeah,
right.
happy Friday.
Love that dress.
Then they're going to look. Oh, thank you.
Okay, we have more of this, but we have to hit a break. That's the way it goes.
Again?
We constantly have to get these breaks in.
Let's dance.
And so, yeah. Or if you're Dave, do those toe touchers. We'll be right back. Oh my gosh, we are having way too much fun in the break. We're talking about cologne. I've worn the same cologne for like 30 or 40 years. It's called Brute. And you were saying Gary wears the same cologne forever and ever?
He has worn the very same one.
Okay.
And then this got us talking with Brian, who's sitting here behind the scenes.
As our director.
Yes,
Yep.
and he says, do you remember the commercial with Brute?
For High Karate.
Oh, High Karate. It says High Karate, the name of the cologne.
Yes. And the commercial was a guy trying to fight off the ladies that were coming for him with some karate moves because they couldn't keep their hands off him.
Oh, wow. And then his
High Karate.
You know, how that finishes, maybe we do a redo. The wife comes into the screen and she fights off the women.
Oh,
to
'cause
protect
he's not
her man
enough to defend himself from
Yeah,
all the ladies who are in love with him. Sure. Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know.
Where is this again, Bri?
Tennessee.
Loudon,
Tennessee.
Big D.
That's good. Anyway, back to our topic.
Hold on. Ron, I have to ask a question.
Okay.
Okay, Big D.
Yeah.
He was out and about. Ron, Dave, where were you when somebody said hello to you and they were like, Big D?
Oh, I get it. I've gotten it at the CVS cash register.
Oh,
I've
nice.
gotten it when I've called people to tell them they want a Fox 10 Talks t-shirt.
Really?
Yeah.
It's very exciting. I love chatting with people.
They're like, hey, you're Big D.
That's good. Well, you might want to start putting on those sunglasses when you walk through the CVS, Dave. I'm just saying. That's
Does that
if you
work?
reach celebrity status at the CVS, you got to do something. What, Celeste?
Does that work?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little weird if it's like 8:30 at night. But
If you're in the pharmacy and they're like, your date of birth, sir, and what's your first and last name?
and then they look up and say, Big D.
Big D.
It's like that William Shatner interview we had last week where the cop pulls him over and says, really? You're William Shatner? You're
No.
doing 100 miles an hour.
And he goes, no, bleep.
Anyway. Okay. What else can we learn from old people? By the way, you guys can join in. And AZ Raider is remembering High Karate.
Yes.
I love that. And Ken is on today saying had the pleasure to meet Ron out at Peralta a few years ago.
Is that the hiking trail?
Yes, but there's also the hiking trail, and there's also an elementary school out there. It's it's so beautiful in the very far East Valley. Here's the rest of the list. You guys can tell me, are these things we should adopt from older folks?
Okay.
Dinner at 4:30.
Oh, that sounds like a dream.
Dave, dinner at 4:30.
I think that's a little too early for me.
Okay.
He's not old. He's not old yet. Look at him. Look at him. Like just do like you know what I mean.
I know. Dave has the kind of attitude that's going to keep him young forever. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, we had when you get home from work, put on your PJs, be cozy at home. Rest of the day, Celeste does that every day.
I do that. I do that all the way.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And sleep all you need to. If your body needs 9 hours, take it. Yay or nay, Dave? Or Celeste?
Big G.
Yeah. Oh.
9 hours. Dave, do you sleep 9 hours?
When Dave doesn't want to answer the question, he gives the "I'm too busy to deal with you" people.
I'm happy to keep chatting.
I think it's because
Huge fan of sleep.
he only answers to
Big D. Okay. Well, okay. But I mean, are older folks onto something? Give yourself 8 or 9, 9.5, maybe even 10 hours.
Ron.
Let's check with Dave. Okay. All right. It's good.
Oh my gosh. It's like if you don't have kids, like school age kids, it's possible.
How about this one? Compliment somebody every day.
Oh, I love
Just
that.
about something. My mom was the best at that.
Oh.
We would go to restaurants and the waiter or waitress, was just starting to take our order. And my mom would be like, "What's your name?"
Well, I like your
we need
hair.
to at least get the orders out.
I like your hair.
Oh, sure.
Your sneakers
and
are super cute.
there would always be a compliment behind it. She was amazing that way. Okay, well, anyway, there you go. There are some things we can learn from the older crowd. And I quote Brian, our director, who about 8 minutes ago said, "Yeah, Ron, but what if we are the older crowd?"
If you're sleeping 9 hours, Brian, kudos to you.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, we got a bunch coming up here. So before we move in on that, just a couple of quick sort of attaboys for our law enforcement here. Look at this from the Mojave County Sheriff's Office. This situation was, honestly, it was a situation where they basically had to get out there and kind of rescue him because he got stuck.
Oh, my goodness.
Stranded out there in Mojave County in the Black Mountains. Very rugged. Deputies say they did get a call. Thank goodness the cell phone was working. For a 60-year-old man whose vehicle had been stuck in the rocks for 2 days.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I wonder what he must have had enough water, hopefully, or what he snacked on.
I think he did have some water with him. That's crucial. And then this story that came in, law enforcement had to respond, as did ambulances and others. There was such a bad crash this morning on 59th Avenue out there at Thomas. Now, the truck, it looks like mostly got through it, but Celeste, look at that car right there. The whole front half of the car is like gone, just obliterated.
Well, and then they have to use the jaws of life to open up the front of that truck. You just saw them with
kidding.
that. But yeah, you feel for these people. It's you think, what is happening? Are there people running red lights, distracted driving, all the above? You just don't know.
Could it be intoxication or impairment or just speeding or whatever? Anyway, we still don't know if everybody survived it, but we won't be surprised later today as we keep kind of staying in touch with our law enforcement sources. Celeste, so far, every time we've had a reporter on from the New York Times, I subscribe to the New York Times. You know, you can subscribe for $1 a week.
Yeah, I'm a subscriber too. It's a good
it is a good deal.
Subscription.
Yeah, but by the way, after a year at $50, keep an eye on those guys because then they raise it to $250.
Oh, $250?
I had to call in and say, get me back on that $50.
$250 for a year?
Nevertheless, we love the New York Times. Their reporters are great, and we get one of their top political reporters now. It's Catie Edmonson. There's Katie. Hi, Katie. Can you hear us okay? I don't know if she's on mute or if it's on our end, but give us a little testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sure. Testing 1,
we gotcha.
2, 3, 4.
Great.
Okay, and don't worry, we're not going to ask you about the price increase on the New York Times app, as Ron was just stating.
Right.
We have, we're going to move on from that.
I called them. They got me back to the 50. That's for sure. Okay, anyway, Katie, what is there any hope this weekend? The signs from the outside look somewhat encouraging. If they're staying in town, at least maybe some of the key senators. I was reminiscing with Celeste. I remember when John McCain was serving in the U.S. Senate, he was part of what was called the Gang of 8. And there were 4 Republicans and 4 Democrats, and they got a bunch of stuff done because they really were talking to each other. Is that happening this time?
Well, it is happening. We're seeing sort of a reprise of some of those bipartisan gangs that really were integral in the past in being able to sort of get us to breakthroughs when there were these types of sort of dug-in impasses up here on the Hill. But to answer your question, I think the visibility in terms of whether or not we're going to have a breakthrough this weekend looks really difficult. Before Tuesday night's elections in New York, New Jersey, and Virginia, we were hearing from a number of kind of centrist, moderate Democrats that they felt the pain of the shutdown, right, both at airports for federal workers, was maybe reaching a fever pitch, and they were looking for some potential off-ramps to try to see, is there some sort of deal we can get here that would allow us to quickly bring the shutdown to an end. Now, after those elections, of course, Democrats fared incredibly well in all 3 of those states. And I think what we heard from a lot of Democrats up here on the Hill was that they really saw that as voters giving them a mandate to keep up the fight for extending those Obamacare subsidies. The Democrats have really made the central part of their demands here to ending the shutdown. And so I think, at the beginning of the week, I thought a lot of us probably thought that the shutdown might end by the end of the week. And I think it's very unclear whether or not that's going to happen now.
Katie, what happens during these situations? If you can kind of paint a picture for us, when we think of these, leaders from all around the nation getting together in D.C. and trying to hammer out these deals and figure it out, are they all together in one room? Are they in their own offices making phone calls? What really happens behind the scenes for all of us, if you can kind of give us a glimpse of what could be happening in the next couple of days over the weekend?
Sure. So what we've been seeing a lot over the past week is that you have a small group of both Democrats and Republicans who have been meeting privately in what they call hideaways, which are sort of these secret little offices actually in the basement of the Capitol here, separate from their official offices. Those sort of casual conversations, again, in the past, like your reference to Senator McCain, have yielded some breakthroughs. But we've actually seen a lot of the parties sort of meeting separately on their own. Senate Democrats had a luncheon that went for about 2 hours yesterday, where they were trying to figure out sort of a united path forward. And one of the things I think that is complicating this effort for Democrats is that you have some centrist Democrats who probably want to get to a deal a little bit quicker. You have some progressive Democrats who are saying, look, the election results on Tuesday were very clear. Voters want us to keep up this fight. And I'll just add, complicating matters even further is the fact that the House has been out for weeks now. Basically, we're in the 38th day of the shutdown. The House of Representatives has not been in session for 38 days. And Speaker Mike Johnson, the leader of the House of Representatives, has said that he is not willing to give Democrats a vote on their key demand, which is a vote on extending these health care subsidies. And so I think all of those pieces of uncertainty have really injected a lot of question marks into this whole process.
We only have a couple minutes left. Let me ask you, what really is the aftermath of the election? We see, for example, here we have Zoran Mamdani. There were two totally different approaches to the results of the election. I mean, rather than reaching out to the other side with Mamdani, he, was kind of, to me, almost sounded like he was pouring fuel on the fire. Donald Trump, to get to any one of us, you're going to have to come through all of us, was a pretty good line. The crowd went wild. But then you see Virginia and you see Abigail Spanberger. She's a Democrat. I don't know if this was symbolic or not, but she wore a red dress to her acceptance speech and said, I want every Virginian to know, even if you didn't vote for me, I will work for you. Two completely different approaches. Which is more in the ascendancy now in the Democratic Party? Which holds more sway? We got 1 minute left.
I think it's a big question. It's a question a lot of Democrats are asking themselves. Certainly, Governors-elect Sherrill and Spanberger represent the more centrist wing of the party. Mamdani is really an avatar for the progressive wing. I think what you heard from a lot of Democrats, though, here in Washington was that they viewed that all three of those candidates' success was really because they focused on the issue of affordability, on rising costs. And I think for a lot of Democrats, regardless of where they are on the spectrum, that was their big takeaway from the election on Tuesday night.
All right. Catie, we really appreciate your input today. We love reading you in the New York Times. Hope you'll come back and be a guest with us again sometime.
Yeah, great insight, Catie. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, break time. Great interview, right?
Oh, yeah.
We could pick her brain for another hour.
So insightful.
Dave, can you get us another hour? We need to go till 1. No more wrapping up at noon.
We'll bring lunch in.
We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Ron and Syleste until 11. And then it is Ty and Anita. That, by the way, is Johnson City, Tennessee, which is right in that kind of tri-state area where Virginia comes down and just sort of touches the corner of Tennessee. And you're really not that far either from Kentucky or North Carolina, too. It's beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
You still have a little bit of that haze that we were just talking about, you know?
Yeah, I know. Okay, Syleste, your story of the day today. Tell us all about it. What was going on?
So it's about, today, Mega Millions. You can win some tickets.
Yeah.
Right? Or win some money, I guess, if you buy some tickets.
Yeah.
And the idea was there was a guy in Maryland, and he was mowing the lawn for his neighbor.
Really?
Yeah, he was doing a good deed.
Yeah, good deed.
That's kind of the moral of the story. Do good deeds for others.
Yeah.
Right? So he's mowing the lawn there for his neighbor, and he's going along his way, and he's like, these are the 5 numbers that popped into my head.
Random numbers pop
Random
into
numbers,
his head
5, 6
while he's
random
mowing the
numbers.
lawn.
So then he
Okay.
goes back, he tells his wife, these are the numbers that I'm going to pick for the lottery. And he wins.
Was it like, oh, wait, we have it written down here. Okay, 13605.
Yeah, so he just like, 13605.
Right.
So he goes to his wife, these are the numbers I'm thinking of right now. And she's like, honey, you should play the lottery.
Yeah.
Go, enter those numbers.
Well, so did the numbers just come to him, or did he say, I need the 5 winning lottery numbers? It was just those numbers kept popping into his head while he's mowing the lawn.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he's mowing the lawn. And he's like, And she's like, you should throw those numbers into the lottery and see if you win. Well,
And so he
won.
did. Yes.
$150,000.
Wow.
And so
That's kind of eerie almost, right?
And so I thought, well, it's because he was doing a good deed.
Yeah.
And then he received something in return.
Yeah.
He was sowing a seed of kindness and doing something kind for somebody else. And then next thing you know, he gets blessed in response.
Oh, I love
And so that is, to me anyway, those the moral of the story. The other moral of the story is listen to your wife.
For sure. Can you imagine if he hadn't gone?
Right.
And they pull those numbers, and then they're sitting there watching the evening news, and she's like, you did go get those tickets, right?
Yeah.
13605.
So crazy. So maybe if you're playing the Mega, let us know in the chat if you play the lottery. If you don't, if you do you choose your own numbers? Do you let the machine do it? I think a lot of people do a little bit of both. You have a threshold for when you play, Ron.
It used to be $500 million.
Yes.
Now it's $1 billion.
Oh, you wait till $1 billion.
Because honestly, it's very rare that people actually win the big prize.
Well, we're
I don't like giving away $5, okay?
That's the thing, is that we're going to get to $1 billion faster than ever now because
it's $5, right? Used to be $2. Used to be $2 in a dream. If I had random numbers come to me, which I have a fake grass, so I don't really get out there and mow the lawn. But let's just say I was walking, for health purposes. Those numbers would be 8675309. Do those numbers ever pop into your Brian? Do those numbers ever pop into your head? 8675309.
Who's the band?
I don't even remember.
Tommy Two-Tone.
Oh, Tommy Two-Tone, right? It's
Tommy Two-Tone.
I wonder if whoever actually in real life had whatever area code had those numbers. 8675309.
There was a lot of people.
What's that? What?
There was a lot of people that had that problem.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Okay.
So that's
Well, there you
7
go.
numbers.
8675309.
Yeah, 8675309. So we do say, Mr. Pavline says he always lets the machines do it.
I think so, too. I think that's
and machine, and he never wins. Jen's Wall, she says she lets the machine choose it. Ron, are you playing today? What's the number?
I don't think we're at $1 billion.
No, we're not at $1 billion yet. So you're going to wait.
Till whatever, Tuesday or whatever it is.
All right.
But anyway, that is when we have stories involving good karma like that.
We like to bring it to you.
Yeah. Now, talk about your good karma. This next story might be even better than that one. And it seems somewhat unbelievable. Think about all the people that you've known over the years who got divorced. And sometimes there's some hurt feelings.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's some, Celeste's like, really? Sometimes there's some acrimony, you might say.
Oh, okay. It's a big word,
and
Ron.
sometimes,
big word.
like, the two sides end up not even talking to each other. Like a Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, I don't think they even like each other anymore.
That took forever to get through their divorce.
Yeah. So anyway, this story is pretty incredible. There's a guy who divorces his wife and then moves on to another lady.
Uh-oh.
And so, well, I mean, it happens. It happens in life.
But was he with that woman before he left his wife?
I don't know.
That's probably where the acrimony came in.
Are you Justin Lum or are you just Celeste? So here's the story. But wait till you hear the kicker on this whole thing.
Okay.
It's incredible. So Angela Maple's new lease on life is courtesy of her husband's ex-wife, Amanda McCowan. So after a trip to Hawaii in 2022, there were some symptoms of an autoimmune disease that were so serious she ended up having to go on dialysis.
Oh, wow.
And doctors told Angela that her kidneys were failing and that she didn't have much time left.
Oh, no.
So somehow, and I'm sure it was the man in the middle here. Do we have his name in any of this? Anyway, he no doubt reached out to his ex, and somehow the three of them got together, and the ex said, I will donate one of my kidneys to your new lady.
Wow. The love triangle really comes through.
Triangle.
Like usually that has a negative connotation, but in this situation,
it was life-saving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's been 3 weeks now since the operation. Again, Angela, her new lease on life is courtesy of Amanda, and so then they decided that they were going to go ahead and speak to the media, and here we go. I believe this is Angela and Amanda.
Your kidneys are completely failing. We may need to talk about other arrangements. I knew what that meant. I didn't have much time left.
I ended up getting the phone call from the care coordinator. She goes, you're not just a match, you are a perfect match. Angela mentioned we were not instant best friends. We've gone through so many co-parenting situations in the last 10 years. Some of them not so great, honestly. It's hard. Co-parenting is hard.
How would you describe your relationship now?
I joke that she is the tequila to my margarita. This is...
There's been a lot of healing and growth.
Wow.
What a story.
Is that incredible?
Oh, my good. And not just a match, but a perfect match.
And I didn't until I just now heard this. And this, again, is a great situation where she looks a little bit like you there, Celeste. Seriously. Our editor, Jeff Haggerty, goes back, digs through the interview, and finds additional sound for us. So I didn't realize that it had been 10 years since the first divorce, and they have to co-parent with the children. Look at that. Look, everybody's holding hands, and they're hopeful. She has got to be on the prednisone, right? I would think that, she's got to be on the anti-rejection meds right now. But at some point, she really, has such a bright future. That story just blows me away.
I feel like the more people I speak with just in society today, like other parents, our kids' friends' parents.
Yeah.
When there's situations where there's divorces or separations, you find more and more people that are finding ways to co-parent and do it in a positive way.
I think so. For the kids'
sake.
Yeah,
if it doesn't work out, unfortunately we want it to, but it's like you just want to be happy.
Yeah.
Every day is a gift, Ron.
I know you would be happy if the Devils won this weekend.
Yes, I would be.
Except they're not playing. They're on a bye.
I know.
Sorry.
But I have to hold my hope.
But here's what's left. They play the West Virginia Mountaineers from Morgantown, West Virginia. I believe that is here.
Yeah.
At Sun Devil Stadium, although Morgantown is beautiful. Then they play Colorado, and then, of course, they close with the U of A.
Yeah.
So I think all three of those are winnable games, and they could wrap up with a really good season. Now, I hate to say this. I don't know why this keeps happening, but Kenny Dillingham is such a good coach. First, his name surfaces for the LSU job.
Yes.
Today, I saw a report that now Auburn is very interested in hiring him. You have these big-time coaches, but I heard Kirk Herbstreit. You know who he is?
I know who Kirk is.
And he's been on Game Day for years, and he broadcasts the games, and he said, the thing about it is, if you go to a pressure cooker job, which is what Auburn is and what LSU is.
A lot of pressure, yeah.
As opposed to he was saying, well, look at Lane Kiffin. He's at Ole Miss. They want to win every year, but if he has a year where he loses 4 games, they're not going to fire him.
No.
They're just happy to have a good coach and have a good season.
Right.
And a lot of schools are like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Ohio State's not, Alabama's not, Auburn's not. He's like, just these coaches all need to settle down and stay where they are.
Yeah.
There's no need for Kenny Dillingham, who is loved here in the Valley.
And gets paid a great amount of money.
Yes. There's no need to go and get additional headaches and be under the scrutiny of Auburn or LSU fans who will hate you if you lose 3 games.
And not just that, but this is home for him. I think there's a lot of reasons that are not monetary, to love where he's at.
I also want to mention that we should really be talking more about the Huskies, my alma mater, my beloved Huskies. They go to Wisconsin. The game is Saturday.
That's a big game.
Yeah, it's on the Big Ten Network. It's going to be raining for the first 3 quarters. In the last quarter, it could very well start snowing. Can you believe it?
Oh, my God. But Madison is a beautiful city.
It is a pretty city, but their quarterback is a local kid from right here in the Valley. Damon Williams played just down the road at Basha High School.
So cool, powerhouse.
And by next year, you're going to be hearing his name in some Heisman talk.
Wow.
I really believe the Huskies are going to be that good next year. I think also there, Coach Jed Fish is a popular guy, but I think he's going to stay, and he and Damon are going to be, they can make him a top 10 team. And I just love the fact that a couple of years ago, he was playing down the road at Basha High, and I really think next year he could be in the top list of Heisman candidates.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that you have so many great quarterbacks that come out of Arizona. That's one of the top schools. Liberty is another one from the Northwest Valley. Hamilton. Those are the top 3 high schools in terms of their records, at least right now.
And look at the how about Perry High?
Yeah,
with
Perry's
Brock Purdy,
good. Yeah.
Right? How about Tyler Shuck playing his high school ball?
What about who's the quarterback at the Saints right now? What's his name?
Oh, that's Tyler Shuck. Yeah.
Well, no, he went to Pinnacle. The guy for what's his name?
Right. That's what we're talking about.
It's a different guy.
Oh, no, Spencer Rattler.
Thank you, Spencer Rattler. He went to Pinnacle.
And he's also from here in the Valley.
Yes.
But Shuck, I think, has now taken that job.
So now he's,
Guess what, Celeste? Football talk, we can go for hours. Instead, we have to clear out of here.
What's happening?
Because here come Ty and Anita.
Happy Friday. I'm like, no, that guy. What's his name?
Welcome on in. Happy Friday. Time now, 11 o'clock. We're going to keep things rolling here on Fox 10 Talks. This whole week, we have had such amazing guests.
We have.
And this is no exception. We've got another jam-packed show.
So a couple weeks back, we had Arizona treasurer Kimberly Yee in talking about this really fantastic contest where kids could win a fairly large sum of money for their college funds.
And guess what? We have Kimberly Yee back, as well as the winner, Colin. Congratulations,
Hi,
Colin, first of all.
Hello. How are you?
Very good.
Are you so excited?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited to meet you.
So, Kimberly, why don't you back us up?
Yes.
Let's talk about kind of what this contest was all about and how Colin was able to win.
Yes, well, it's the Arizona 529 Education Savings Plan. It is a wonderful savings plan for families to be able to save for that higher education opportunity. It could be college, but it could be workforce training, vocational education, so much more. And so in this case, we have an annual essay contest. It's in the fall, and we asked children, 5th and 6th graders, what is it that you want to be when you grow up, and what is it going to take to get there? And we had 876 entries from around the entire state.
You won from that many?
Yes.
High five.
I know, it's so great.
You brought your entry. Do you want to read it?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, here we go. Put this mic down so you can read it. There you go.
Okay. Dream Job by Colin Jensen. Everyone has a dream job, but my dream job I want to achieve is to be an author and illustrator. I would like to be this because ever since I was just a little kid, I have always been an artist. It just makes me feel so happy because you can use your imagination and draw whatever you want. You are the boss of the pencil. I also love making stories, so what other way to get the best of both worlds? My inspiration is Dave Pilkey. You may not know who Dave Pilkey is, but he's the creator of Captain Underpants and my personal favorite, Dogman. Ever since I've been reading his books, I've been making comics. It just makes me so imaginative. So far, some of the comic books I'm working on are Space Invader, A Fish Dish, and Dogman Revenge of the Fish. My favorite kind of books to create are funny stories. I just love seeing people laugh. It just makes my day and other people's too. To become an author and illustrator, I will need to read more books to get inspiration. In addition, I will need to spend an immense amount of time writing. For example, Roald Dahl, the creator of the BFG and James and the Giant Peach, spent 4 hours a day writing his books in his reading hut. I will also have to go to art school and improve my art skills. In conclusion, being an author and illustrator would expand my imagination and fulfill my dream. I can't wait to entertain and bring joy to kids all over the world.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. We're already
that was
getting
fantastic.
So many comments from the people who are watching at home live. Some Lil Philosophy says, awesome. I used to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Big Nate a lot. And remember who I said Big D is?
Yeah.
Our producer over there? Someone said, you're going to be the next Dave.
There you go.
You're going to be the next producer.
But Colin, you brought something with you. You're actually working on one of your comic books right now, aren't you? Show that off. There you go.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
Oh.
That is really cool. So what's the title of this one?
Space Invader.
Space Invader. What's it about? Give us a little synopsis.
So it's about a
Space Invader? Dot-tie.
It's about a meteor that crashes on Earth and then spreads like this green ooze onto these flowers, and then they come to life.
Oh, that's cool.
You have to show the pictures because the last page is amazing.
Oh, we got to hold on. We'll get another close-up there.
Right there.
I can see, Kimberly, why he won. That is a fantastic essay. And look at the illustrations.
It's so professional.
Yeah, we're getting some more questions for you. Do you want to try to answer it?
Sure.
Okay. So the question is, Colin, do you like fact or fiction? Real books or fictional books?
I like fiction books.
Same.
What? Yeah, we do too. We like thriller books, like where there's some type of crime and
Murder
you have
mystery.
you have to figure it out. You're probably not reading. I hope you're not reading those. Yeah.
Well, that is so exciting. Kimberly, if folks want to get more information about this program, obviously the contest is done for this year, but maybe next year this has kind of inspired somebody to
It's
look
wonderful,
into this.
yes. At az529.gov will give information about this wonderful savings plan. And it could be for students at any age to start this. And parents get a tax deduction of $2,000 a year. If they're a married couple, $4,000 a year per child. It doesn't matter how many kids you have in your family. Grandparents can donate to this, aunts and uncles. And we have an art contest coming up in the spring.
Oh, okay.
And
Colin, looks like
another
you have another
$529.
Can he double dip? I mean, he's got
He
the...
can.
Okay.
And actually, we had 20 winners recognized on this week. And again, from every state, every 15 counties will be represented in the winners.
How cool.
And in this case, we had, we will continue to bring families to the state capitol and share their great masterpieces, as you can see. And in the spring, it will be an art contest. And what's so great about this is that it's never too early. It's certainly never too late to start an education savings plan. And the holidays are coming up. What a perfect gift to give your loved one a gift of education through an AZ529 education savings plan.
Someone else said, Colin, you're already an amazing writer. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
So if Colin wanted to go to art school, maybe not your traditional four-year university, that money can be applied
for any type of higher education, as long as it's an accredited school, and it could be anywhere in the U.S. So it doesn't have to stay here in Arizona. And what a wonderful opportunity to start $529.
That's a lot of money. Wow.
That money will continue to grow, and we can add to that as well. It's amazing.
Are you going to submit for the next contest?
I think you should.
Yeah, I do too. I definitely think you should, yeah.
Well, Colin, thank you. High five, first of all.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Good job, bud.
Kimberly, I'll give you a high five too. Because you're awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in. We'll have to have you back in to talk about the art contest in the spring. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. All right, so coming up tomorrow, you guys, this is a really cool event that's going to be happening here in the Valley with Literacy Phoenix. They are a fantastic nonprofit. They have 2 locations, one right in the heart of downtown Phoenix, another campus in the Sunny Slope area. And so we have 2 individuals here. We have the basically the director of Literacy Phoenix, Jesus Love, as well as a student, Alex Dyer, here joining us live in studio.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
We had this one set up for Colin, so we can fix that one for you, Jesus.
What a fantastic organization. I will tell you, I didn't speak English until I was 3. So, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. My parents are both Polish. My grandmothers helped raise me while my mom and dad worked. And then when they had to go back to Poland, I went to preschool, picked up English.
Yeah.
But it's pretty incredible when you have that additional help to learn the language.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for having us, and what a great story. We are a 501c3 community-based nonprofit. We've been around for over 43 years in the Valley. I like to say we are the best kept secret. We recently rebranded from Literacy Volunteers of Maricopa County to Literacy Phoenix, just because it's easier to remember and for name recognition. Thank you for having us, and thank you for promoting. The whole idea is to get the word out into the community. We offer free classes, free. No cost. And we do 2 main programs, reading and writing, basic and secondary education with the goal to preparing for the GED, which in Arizona, the GED gives a high school equivalency diploma. Alex graduated from that program 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago. And then the other program is English for speakers of other languages, like you did. And the whole idea is, through those 2 programs, empower adults to become better parents, better employees, better members of the community, and fully integrate and participate. Along with that, we do digital and financial literacy, and employability, work skills.
Yeah, it's such an incredible organization. I was a volunteer there with Jesus. Well, Jesus was my boss.
I hope he listened and paid attention.
No, he
doesn't do that here. Yeah,
Nothing's changed, right, Jesus?
Just for the record, I'm nobody's boss.
But it was such a fun organization, and now I joined the board. And so coming up this Saturday, we have our big fundraiser. Do you want to talk a little bit about the fundraiser?
Wonderful, yes. And we're very happy and proud and honored to have you on our board, Ty. Thank you for supporting us over the years, for being a volunteer and now a board member. Yeah, the whole idea is the board has been very active about setting up events, probably on a quarterly basis, to community events at different areas to get the name out, and also to let the community know that the services that we provide to our clients, the adult learners, are at no cost to them, thanks to support from the Arizona Department of Education Adult Education Services, but also thanks in great part to the community for supporting us. We are a qualified charitable organization under the Tax Revenue Code, and it was great to see Kimberly right before us.
Yeah, right?
And so individuals can redirect their Arizona taxes dollar for dollar. And the event is tomorrow at Changing Hands from 5 to 7. We're going to have 3 Arizona authors, New York bestsellers, and we're going to have a fun afternoon of reading and telling stories and just mingling. And everybody is invited.
And this is the invite right there. You can click that QR code. Maybe if you can't even
make it,
yeah. You know, like he mentioned, it is a nonprofit. It helps so many people. If you can do a little donation, we'll take that too.
Every dollar counts.
Every
Alex,
dollar counts.
share your story with us.
So I found literacy volunteers in 2021, I believe. Due to unfortunate circumstances when I was younger, I only completed 8th grade. So I finally, had kids and was in the right situation to go back to school. I signed up for literacy volunteers. I was able to go in and take a test, and I only needed math, thank goodness. So I took a year of algebra to better my math skills, because before I didn't know anything about algebra, letters, and stuff
I still
like
don't know
that.
anything about algebra.
It was,
my goodness, that's a tough one. My gosh.
Oh my gosh. And I did the year of algebra, and I took all my practice tests, and I let Jesus know when I was ready, and he ended up helping me with the cost of it and everything.
Wow.
And I passed all the tests on the first try. So that was pretty amazing. Since then, it was about a year later, I decided to enroll in college. I'm now a GCU student.
Good for you.
For general psychology. I'm halfway through my bachelor's degree.
Wow.
I'm going for the master's.
Good for that's
fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's go. Why stop?
Yeah.
I imagine. I don't want to say like lack of education, but would be daunting, difficult, because it's kind of one of those things where nobody knows if you had your GED, nobody knows if you went to college, but it is something that people do ask when you're applying for jobs, when you want to better your future.
Yes. Yeah, so I currently work in behavioral health, so I really wanted to do the psychology. I started off in behavioral science and then I thought, well, I think psychology would be best, so that's what I'm going for. And my oldest daughter is starting college herself, and it's just been great. My kids see me achieving these goals that I have set out to do with my education, and hopefully they follow suit with that.
Well, Alex, we're proud of you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Congratulations for your continued success, because that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
We're going to pop that up one more time. So here, if you want to come join us tomorrow night, Changing Hands Bookstore, starting at 5. We'll be right back.
Welcome back in.
We just keep things rolling. We mentioned we got a jam-packed show for you on this Friday, and we're just going to keep on rolling with this next story, you guys. All right, so this came into my inbox, and I was enthralled as soon as I read it. A drone art show, all set to music. It's going to be happening here in Phoenix. So guess what? We have one of the people behind it. Sofia is the global project manager for the drone art show, joining us via Zoom this morning. Sofia, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, so we've got some video that you guys sent over, so I want to play it so people kind of can get an idea of what this will look like. This is absolutely incredible.
What does it take, Sofia, to put something like this together? How many drones will be flown up there?
We're going to be flying about 500 drones, and locally we're going to have all of our production team there. We're taking this in a tour, but every time we go to a new market, we employ local artists, local vendors. So it's a lot of the local community that it takes to put this out there. And then we're going to have the pilots that are going to be sort of backstage and are going to be stealing the show from there, just kind of pressing play for the drones to go up in the air, and they're going to be perfectly synced to the music that they'll hear.
Okay, maybe a silly question, but we have a Fox 10 drone department program. We have a couple of pilots. Ty and I are both visual observers, so we watch them put the drone up. So we know what it takes for one drone pilot to have there. Do you have 500 drone pilots controlling the drones, or are they able to control multiple drones at one time?
They're able to control multiple drones at one time. So actually none of the pilots there are actually flying the drones. It's all pre-programmed, and through GPS and real-time kinematic, like different technologies that are being utilized, actually it allows for all the drones to be perfectly synchronized with one another. So what you have there is just pilots that everything we've done before, and they truly press play, and it's like a 3D canvas goes up in the sky.
Unbelievable. What goes into programming these drones? Because, I mean, there is a lot that must go into this behind the scenes before you guys even arrive to a venue to set up.
Yes. So we have a really big creative team that's been working on the show for a long time. So it starts, as you can imagine, any creative process with ideation, brainstorming, mood boarding. We first all do it kind of like physically, and then we start taking it to technology and start designing this with a proprietary system that's designed by Nova Sky Stories, which are our partners in the drone technology. And then we start playing with how it's going to look. So they have a system that it physically tells you what it's going to look even before we test it. And then once that's done, we usually do testing. We do it in Colorado. We do a couple of tests. And then our first show that we did, this show, our first version was in November last year in LA when we first tested it out. And since then, we've kind of been reiterating on it. And then at the beginning of this year, we realized, okay, we have a really good show that then we've decided to take on tour across the US and Europe.
I love them. I love seeing the musicians and all the candles, and it just looks so romantic and just relaxing in the evenings. The drones, I'm fascinated because it all has to work like a well-oiled machine. What happens if one of the drones has a malfunction or fails? Are there contingency plans, or you just don't notice because there are so many up there?
Of course, and you won't notice it, but if a drone fails, there's so many safeguards in place, and the drone just actually will fail and will come down right to the floor where the pilots are, or right to like its case. So we've seen it in 1 or 2 shows, and then the drone just kind of flies back to where it's supposed to be. And you're exactly right. Like you mentioned, a relaxing plan, and that's exactly what it is. It's really nice to see families and some of their parents teaching their kids about classical music. It's a lot of kids' first time with classical music, but because there's the figures in the sky, the nature, the animals, it's a really great way to like take your family and experience classical music in this way.
So let's talk about times when you'll be here in Arizona so folks can get their tickets, because it's happening tonight, right? Is your first show here in the Valley?
It's happening tonight. Yes, it's happening tonight and tomorrow. So tonight it starts at 7:30, but a lot of people show up 2 hours before because, as I mentioned, we're going to have a lot of food, background music. So a lot of people take it as like a 3-hour evening event. They go, they sit on the lawn, it's a picnic, and then they spend 2 hours there with their family, with their friends, with their partners, whoever they choose to go with. And then they'll start the show at 7:30. And the show is about 1 hour. and there's 45 minutes of drone time. So it's also one of the longest drone shows that people will ever see.
I love what you said about teaching kids classical music, but at the same time, you're teaching them the classics, but you're also teaching them the future. You're teaching them about this great technology and how both worlds come together.
Exactly. You couldn't have said it better. It's really like a new medium of entertainment. People are used to going to the movie theaters, to the planetariums, but all these stories can now be taken outdoors, outside, and drones can be a new medium of being able to tell these stories in a new form.
That's very cool. So this is going to be at the Great Lawn at Sportsman's Park. Where can folks get tickets, Sofia?
They can go to feverup.com and just search for Phoenix, and they'll see the Drone Art Show there, or they can go directly to Drone Art Show Phoenix.
Okay.
Either way.
Amazing.
Tonight and tomorrow. So, I mean, yeah, look how cool this is. One more time, I'll play that video so you can see. It is just really incredible to see, isn't it?
This is something I would enjoy seeing.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the candles and the music, and I'm already just feeling it.
Maybe Johnny's watching. Johnny,
Probably not.
Anita wants to go.
We'll send you tickets.
Oh, goodness gracious. That is beautiful. Best of luck to you, and I do hope you come back for more shows because I have a feeling this is going to be immensely popular out here.
We definitely will. You'll see us next year again for more shows and different stories that we'll be telling.
I love it.
Stay in touch.
Thanks, Sofia.
Thank you so much.
Have a good
That's
one.
beautiful.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Oh, wow. Look at me, I'm all like in my relax.
Yeah, she's like, dreaming about droning.
We will put all the information up on
the chat.
The chat here. Make sure everybody knows how to get tickets. Okay, next topic.
Look
Guest
at
number
us.
4. Hi.
Hi.
We're not done.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
We have Dr. Stephen Hansen with the Arizona Humane Society. You're the president and the CEO of AHS. So they literally gave us the big dog today.
Yeah.
You.
I'm supposing you're right.
Oh, Ty, that was funny.
See?
Because that's exactly what we're talking about, right?
It
Large
is.
dogs, big dogs?
So big dogs. So at the Arizona Humane Society, we're experiencing the largest intake of animals that we've seen in the last 10 years. And a big part of it are large dogs. And what's happening is there's a real difficulty getting access to affordable veterinary care. So people can't afford these pets. Or they also have a housing issue. And big dogs over 50 pounds can be more restricted in where somebody can have them. So we've teamed up with Hill's Science Diet for the Big Dog Challenge. And what this means is all big dogs 50 pounds and over from now until January 15th have 0 adoption fees.
When did you kind of start to see the unfortunate, I guess, influx of the larger dogs coming into your shelters?
So we've been tracking it for the last couple of years. It's been growing. And we've noticed we have a call center. We take about 15,000 calls a month. And the primary reason they're calling is about wanting to relinquish a pet because of cost of veterinary care or housing.
Wow.
So that's why we watch this closely so that we could find a way to put these pets in homes. So what we want to do is promote how wonderful big dogs are, because if you're active in Arizona, if you're a runner or a hiker, you can take a big dog. So Hill Science Diet is a great partner of ours, and they're allowing this challenge to go forward at no cost. So you can adopt these dogs with 0 fees, any of our 3 campuses. You can see what dogs we have by visiting azhumane.org. and see who's available.
I feel like the bigger the dog, the more the love.
That's absolutely right.
That is true, yeah.
Big dogs are amazing.
Yeah.
They're great partners. They're great if you're active. They're on the couch. They're also good for security. They look big. They're
a
friendly.
little bit more intimidating.
A little bit more intimidating. You can't go wrong.
How many pounds is Myrtle? I know we shouldn't ask
Myrtle's
a woman's
little.
weight.
Yeah, she doesn't like to talk about her weight.
But she's around 50, right?
Yeah, ish. And then
Ish,
Stuart's a big old.
Ty has 2 big doggies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Myrtle's not that big. She's like a little petite thing. And Stuart's the big fat one. He's actually on a diet right now.
I say let him eat cake.
That's right. Let him have a good time.
Oh, look at that doggy.
Come to the Arizona Humane Society and adopt these big dogs.
Let's talk about the adoption process. If for folks that have maybe never adopted a dog, it can be maybe a little daunting to be like, okay, I'm going to go to the shelter, take home a dog that I have never really quote unquote met before. I mean, that was my first reaction when I first adopted a dog. Now I'm kind of used to it, and I get it.
Yeah.
But that first couple of hours, I was like, oh boy, have I made a wrong decision? So walk us through kind of how someone should go into the adoption process.
Well, first of all, most people have been to our website. So there's a dog that they might be wanting to come and see. And the website will direct you to one of the 3 locations, whether it's our Papago Park campus, our Sunny Slope campus, or the Pulliam campus at South Mountain. you can go there, and if that dog is still available, then you can spend time with them. We've got adoption counselors that are really skilled at explaining the needs of this particular dog and trying to help you make a good match. And now we actually have a new software program. If you adopt a dog, you actually get all the records on your phone along with resources that can help you. So training resources. Then we follow up to see if you're having any challenges. Because those first few days can be really daunting, especially with a big dog. And we want to make sure you've got the resources that you need so you can keep that big dog in your home. So you don't bring the big dog back next week and say, whoa, I can't
made
do
a
it.
mistake. I didn't know what I was getting into.
It's funny you mentioned the website because I adopted my very first dog when I lived in Boise. And I went to the shelter because I saw the dog's picture on the website and took him out, hung out with him. And then I found another big dog that I fell in love with more than the other one. I should have taken both of them. The other one was like an Akbash.
Okay.
He was huge, and I was like, I want just a giant dog. And in hindsight, I'm kind of glad I didn't get a giant dog.
It was a little bit too much dog.
Anyway, long story short, sorry, I just went on a dog adoption tangent. But that's how I got my first Cody, my favorite pup. So, yeah.
Big dogs are amazing.
Yeah.
They make such great pets, and they're so good if you're active. We're finding lots of people that are enjoying them. So that's why we're talking about them. That's why Hills is helping us.
How much space do they need if you live in a one-bedroom apartment and the landlord is okay with a bigger dog? How much space are we looking at? And then we have about a minute and a half. That vet care, are there programs out there? Are there offices out there that are reasonable, where people can afford it?
So as far as space, you can get by with a very small space with a big dog. I actually used to live in New York City. So you can have dog walkers if you're at work, or you can make sure you can come home during the day and get them out. So there's not really a space that's needed. You just have to have a plan.
Sure.
Somebody that can take them out, a dog park across the street, some way to manage them.
Maybe a doggy daycare.
We
have a lot of those now.
Doggy daycares are great for big dogs. It'll wear them down. Then you can
socialize them.
They'll socialize them. So it really is just devising a plan. So when we do adoptions, we never really look at the space. We just talk about what the dog needs.
Okay.
Because you can make things work. And as far as affordable pet care, so there are places in the Valley. We've got 2 hospitals that are full-service hospitals that provide affordable care. So you can go to azhumane.org. You can go to our clinic section. There are other clinics in the Valley as well that help with low-cost care.
Well, Dr. Hansen, thank you so much for coming in. We're going to put all this information on our website. It's going to be a nice weekend, and maybe go out and add a 4-legged friend to your family.
And a big one.
And a big one.
Maybe
big
go walk that
friend.
pup and get to know him a little bit before you make decisions. So now, all the way through January 15th, free adoptions for dogs over 50 pounds.
Yes.
Amazing.
All right, very cool. Have a great weekend, and thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you for having me.
Des and Ron are on their way in. We're on our way out to the noon show. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
All right, have a good one.
It is Fox 10 Talks, and this time around, you know, Des, I felt like we've opened a little too often. You got to shake things up in this streaming world.
Yeah.
And I felt like we've opened a little too often with that other shot of the ballpark.
Okay.
Wherever that shot is.
You got tired of that?
So I'm like, how about a nice fishing lake somewhere? I have no idea where it is, but the leaves aren't turning, so it's probably, you know, down south somewhere. That really is pretty, though, huh?
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
a good spot to be.
So, welcome, one and all. I am Ron Hoon, and we have Desiree Fluellen right here, and we are glad to be hanging out with you today. So, Des, tell us about your morning so far.
Oh,
Did you go up north again?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear about it.
Not feeling too well right now.
You're not?
No, I get car sick, so I'm like,
oh no,
we're gonna try and keep it together.
Okay, especially if Brian's driving.
I wasn't with Brian.
Oh,
no.
you weren't?
Yeah.
You want to call out who the bad driver was?
No, not at all. We were in Cave Creek or Carefree for the Fine Arts and Wine Festival.
There's some windy roads up there. Is that what it is?
Yeah, a lot of construction. It's just a lot of stop and go.
Yes.
That's the problem. Like,
right.
But it was nice. We talked to an artist from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
What is it? The Arts and Wine Festival? Is that what it's called?
Yep.
It's a really popular thing.
Yeah. Oh, there's artists from all over the country, all over the different parts of the world there.
Sure, yeah.
In Carefree. So yeah, it starts today and runs for the next few days.
Very nice.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Here, that's the good news. We have lots of cool events coming all weekend long. I mean, once we get into November, it's like pick your one of 10 different events every weekend.
It's the time of year for it. Perfect weather.
It is so great. But do we have that lot? Yeah, here we go. All right, ready? Ladies and gentlemen, that's what it looks like right now at Sky Harbor Airport. I'm trying to see. Can you count how many planes are in line? Des, will you just talk for like 20 seconds? I'm going to go actually count the planes.
Sure. Okay. So we're looking at one takeoff right now. Does that one count, Ron? I don't know. But there we go. It's up in the air, and I'm sure those folks are happy. But this is certainly going to start impacting a lot of people. My mom flew in earlier this week from Buffalo.
How did it go for her?
She was delayed 4 hours leaving Buffalo. I'm just grateful. You know, we're grateful that she was able to make it in. But yeah, that was her delay.
I hope it wasn't on the tarmac. At least it was in the airport.
No, it was about 10 minutes before they were set to board that they told them they'd be delayed. So that's a whole other thing. But yeah, no, she got to stay at the airport and just hang out for a while.
Okay. Well, it looks to me like we've got about 7 planes, and now here comes number 8. That is coming in to get in line at Sky Harbor Airport. I just checked FlightAware, and as we speak right now, as of 11:30, we had more than 50 flights canceled. And so they are running slow at the at Sky Harbor. Look, you can tell what a busy time of day it is at 11:30, and planes are moving around, and you know they're doing their best, but from the reports I see, some of these workers there in the tower for air traffic control are working 6-day weeks as it is. And so 21 of the flight cancellations are all from one airline. That's Southwest. And then 16 are from SkyWest. 8 canceled flights from Envoy Air. And you're like, what is that? Well, that's American Eagle. And then 4 flights canceled with United. You know, they fly from here to their big hubs in Chicago and Denver and San Francisco. 2 flights with Frontier have been canceled, and 2 from American. I didn't see any from Delta. I did not see any from Alaska. But, you know, I could be an airport watcher. I love watching planes take off and land and move around, and you can see we've got many more that are getting in line. I don't know if you saw the picture yesterday, but you'll see it here in a minute. Anyway, let's tell you just a little bit more about what's been going on because of the delays and the cancellations. I'm so glad that your mom at least made it out of Buffalo and made it here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. My dad's trip is in question because he was going to fly in before Thanksgiving. So we'll see how that goes. But
close to Thanksgiving, like that week.
That week, yeah. But I mean, how many Americans are having to deal with this and start thinking about what are they going to do, especially that we're just a couple weeks away from Thanksgiving. But the ramifications of this government shutdown are more than just ruining our holiday plans, though, too.
Oh, gosh, yes, right?
So difficult for all these folks not getting a paycheck.
Well, and think about all these different government agencies that you may not even know about, and all of them are, workers there are furloughed. And need to get a paycheck. They got to pay rent, those kinds of things. There's a legal battle going on over the SNAP benefits. But anyway, let's just talk a little bit more about the cancellations. A traveler able to board their plane sent us a photo that you're going to see in just a moment regarding the lines. But honestly, now that I look at this, Des, we're getting pretty close to a major backup. Even now, you got another American plane coming in. They will take their place in the line. Kind of interesting how we have the bigger planes and the smaller planes. And you finally got that Southwest airline. It looks like it was just cleared. But here's a little bit more then about what they were saying.
Yesterday, our flight was 4 hours late.
So what'd you do?
We switched to this afternoon.
A little worried. Not terribly, but a little.
She was so concerned. She was really thinking about canceling it. That's how afraid she was. Yeah. Rightfully so.
I gave myself a full day. The wedding's Saturday, so I figured no matter what happens, I should get there in 36 hours. So I'm optimistic.
I decided I want to go early, just in case this flight's delayed, I don't miss my connection.
I'm a mom, and so I want to get back to my kids. I'm scared I'm not going to be able to come back when I want to. I'm the primary caregiver, so coming back, I need to be able to take care of them.
We don't have a choice. Yeah. We have to be in Boise, so it's what it is.
And then look at this shot right here, Des. This says it all, doesn't it? But we're on the verge of it starting to look like that on that live cam, too. I mean, they're trying to keep the air traffic control towers as staffed as they possibly can. But it is a slow process. And like you said, your mom was 4 hours late. That guy that we were just talking to said his flight was 4 hours late. You got to pack your patience. Mm-hmm. And, we had a New York Times reporter on last hour, and she said there might be some movement. Just the fact that some Republican and Democrat senators are talking up on Capitol Hill today, seeing if they can't put something together that can at least get that government reopened and then try to address something regarding the subsidies for Obamacare. So who knows? Maybe there's something in the works. But sadly, I have the feeling that there's not going to be a resolution until it gets much worse, until members of Congress can't fly home. Or can't get a flight. Their flight to D.C.
And think of how selfish that is. Until it impacts me, I don't care.
Well, and what about the other? We talked the other day that there was a resolution. I think it was from Rick Scott, that senator out of Florida, who said we're going to have a resolution where you're not going to get paid unless you can get a budget passed. Now, that will wake some people up in the Senate or in the House, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what's going on, and now you're pretty much up to date as far as what's happening out there at the airport.
I would love to know what our viewers think of all this in the chat. If you have travel plans or what you're thinking of doing, let us know what's going on there. How is this impacting you?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so then our poll question ends up looking like this. Is it time for compromise? This is very interesting to me. We were at, an hour ago, we were at like 12 or 13% for folks saying, yeah, Democrats, vote to reopen the government. Republicans, work on health care. But now a bigger number, 68% are saying no. Republicans did pass a bill. It cleared the House. It's sitting there on the desk of the senators, and the Democrats that are holding out need to approve it. 24% say nope. Democrats should keep the shutdown going until they get those subsidies. How's it looking on YouTube, Des?
So the numbers are different here, and we generally see a difference when it comes to our YouTube polls. So we've got over 2,500 votes, 2.6 thousand if you see there in the top left, and 24% here on this poll say yes, Democrats vote to reopen the government. Republicans work on health care. 33% are saying no, Republicans already passed a bill. Senate Democrats need to approve, and 43% with the majority here in this poll, no, Democrats need to hold out for ACA subsidies.
Okay. Guess what? This man has comments.
Yeah, let's hear him, Dave.
You know, he sets up pretty much most of these segments, has guests coming in and out of the room, and is also able to look at what you guys have to say. So what are you seeing?
Well, I love it because everybody is so insightful and thoughtful and really kind and respectful in their comments. So I absolutely get a blast, have a blast reading them. Lost Thought says the rich got their tax breaks. Now let the common folk keep their insurance. Bill Stapleton 1084 says Democrats voted for this bill 13 times during the Biden administration. Nothing changed. They are just being childish since they lost the House and Senate. Freedom 63412 says if we can give $40 billion to Argentina, we can help pay for Americans' health care. America first. Gray Assets 4782 says Republicans have had 8 months to negotiate and get 7 votes. Instead, they have refused to be in session to come to a compromise. The Democrats were willing to compromise 8 months ago to keep the government running. The House has only been in session for 13 out of the last 110 days. And finally, Jack Ace 413 says if Democrats had any reason to trust that the Republicans would actually negotiate something, then reopening would be the right thing to do. Unfortunately, they're not dealing with good faith partners in governance. The GOP already slashed into Medicaid and Medicare, ACA funds, and SNAP in the BBB, and dismantling the ACA and SNAP entirely are both laid out in Project 2025. Really interesting comments. Keep them coming, everybody.
By the way, I just want to respond to Mr. Paul Valine because he's asking the same question I was asking early this morning. I had to go back and look through the memos. Where's Isabella? We miss Bella, but
Yes.
she's off today and tomorrow. Dave, I think she's working Saturday and Sunday. Is that what's going on with the schedule?
You know, I don't know if she's off or if she's working this weekend, but yeah, she was off yesterday and today.
Yeah.
I believe she's actually at USC Family Weekend visiting her sister.
Oh, fun.
nice.
Is she posting about it?
I
Otherwise
hope
she's
so.
Like, yeah, don't put my business out there.
Yeah. You know what? Actually,
Sorry, Bella, you're outed.
I think she did post about it.
Did she?
And her
Okay, good.
mom. What were they doing? They were just having fun. She loves her mom.
Sometimes it's like, wait a second. Tell me where I'm at.
Okay, break time. Mystery Cam.
Oh, this
wait, is this our mystery cam? Well, what do you know? We just got an advanced preview.
Maybe it is. Cool.
Give us your guess. And we welcome you back on Friday morning. All right, Des, let's take a look and see if we have any guesses so far. Halakita. She's like, I'm going to guess
Are those
Georgia.
birds or bees?
Okay, so by the way, here's Johnny. A swarm of Bellabomb fans are due to arrive shortly. I know. She'll be back on Monday, I'm pretty sure. So let's just see. Jen Swall's like, I like Georgia.
B. Miguel with Wyoming.
Okay.
Halakita, Georgia.
Yeah. So I'm remembering they had this bug infestation earlier this week, and now we're seeing these bugs just like land in front of the camera. So it was on the Georgia-Alabama border was where we saw them before, like around Dothan.
Oh gosh, you have
Alabama.
such a good memory. How do you remember that?
Believe me, there are days it doesn't kick in, that's for sure.
Linda, South Carolina or Georgia.
Linda's a good traveler. She and her husband get some nice travels in. I love getting your updates on Instagram.
I like
Linda.
her guess of South Carolina.
I like that
I'm gonna
too.
go with her on that.
Okay, then I'm going to go with her other guess, Georgia.
Okay.
We got your back, Linda.
Victor thinks it's Nebraska.
Oh,
Let's
really?
see.
Okay, so
it's
here we go.
Cairo, Georgia.
It is Georgia. All right, so here's what we
Wow.
do. We try to learn and inform at the same time, and let's find out where
I don't see anyone out there fishing
Cairo, Georgia.
or on a boat.
Yeah, let's find. Here's the interesting thing about Georgia. We'll talk about this in just a sec, but where is Cairo, the land of all the bugs? Sure enough, well, actually, this is interesting. It's not that far away from Dothan, Alabama, where we had earlier told you about the bugs. So they're really having a problem down there in the southern half of Georgia and Alabama. This is actually just north of Tallahassee, home of the state capitol, and Florida State University. So down kind of by the panhandle there. That's like the more we talk about them, the more bugs we see.
Well, they probably migrate south. It's warmer.
Yeah,
right?
no
So,
kidding.
Yeah, there they are. Look at.
Okay, so, what I was about to say is Georgia, to me, is one of the most interesting places in terms of various states because so many of their names come from other lands. They have Columbus, just like we have.
I think you were telling me this story once.
Yeah, we have Columbus, Ohio. We have Cairo. You know, of course, thinking about Cairo, Egypt.
Yeah.
We have a Rome, Georgia. We have a Dublin, Georgia.
My dad was born in Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That is super cool.
So where'd that one come from?
Yeah, I wonder, right?
I don't know.
Caesar Augustus something. They have an Athens, Georgia, where the university is. So you think of, the ancient city of Athens over there in Greece. I just have always found it really interesting that for whatever reason, the early days they were naming towns. They're like, well, let's name it after that other big city. All right. We are really happy to be able to bring to you now a chance to salute America's veterans. Des, before you know it, the Veterans Day Parade is going to be here.
Yes, how exciting.
Yeah.
Next week already.
Yeah. I really feel like between the two big ones, there's one in Mesa and there's one in Phoenix. You add up all of the veterans that participate, all the volunteers, and then the thousands of people who come out with their kids to teach them what Veterans Day is all about, that we get probably amongst all cities one of the biggest turnouts. So we are going to bring in our friend Paula Pedene. Here she is. Hi, Paula.
Hi, Paula.
There she is.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us on Fox 10 Talks here on YouTube and Channel 45 and the Fox Local app. Are you guys getting everything kind of buttoned up for the parade? And tell us when and where it is.
We are. We're getting ready, and it's nice to see you guys again. The parade will take place on Tuesday, November 11th, which is Veterans Day. It starts at 11 a.m. South on Central Avenue at Montebello, and then it crosses east on Camelback and then heads south on 7th Street, and it ends at Indian School Road. So people know where the parade starts and where it stops. We have these big banners that say parade start and parade stop too. So if you sit behind or in front of those banners, you'll be able to get a good seat.
Oh, amazing. And walk us through the parade. How many different floats are involved this year or groups walking in the parade route?
So there are 90 different groups. We have 7 high school marching bands, which is wonderful because the music really adds a lovely element. We have about 15 different floats, about 20 different veteran service organizations, and then we have what we call novelty units, which are the horses, the dog entries, the Sun City Palms, the Arizona Twirling Athletes. So they all converge. There's about 3,000 people that make up the parade, and then we get a couple hundred volunteers. And to Ron's point, there's 45,000 people that come out and truly say thank you to our veterans. And it's, for the veterans, it means so much. It's like they get this big community hug that day and they tear up. It's important to them. So if you're able to come out and say thank you to our veterans and just be there and wave a flag or a sign, we'd love to have you.
You know, you think back in our nation's more recent history, say over the last 50, 60 years, I think we do a good job today of honoring the what our veterans have been doing for this country for years and years. You know, particularly during the War on Terror and times like that, the way the nation came together after 9/11. But you go back further in time, you go back into the 60s and maybe even into the 70s, and I think there were, you know, some men and women who served their country and really did not get that thank you when they came home. And so all these years later, now they get a chance to get that.
And, you know, Ron, it is so important to them. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up. On Tuesday morning, ahead of the parade, the State Department of Veterans Services is going to be hosting a Vietnam Veterans Breakfast and a pinning ceremony. And it's the 50th anniversary of the end of the war. And this is the last year that we're kind of commemorating them. So they had a 10-year program to thank them, because you are absolutely right. We did not do a good job when they came back. When they were transitioning out, officers and managers were telling people, do not wear your uniform to get on a plane, do not wear your uniform home. It was really a challenging time. So I think we're you know, lesson learned. It was the Vietnam veterans that when the first global war on terror veterans came back, that stood in the breach and said, oh no, we are going to welcome these guys home. And they did. They've made a difference that way.
What is the date and the time and the location of the pinning ceremony?
The pinning ceremony is going to be on Tuesday morning, and the program starts at 9 o'clock. Disabled veteran and former Maricopa County attorney and now veterans judge Rick Romley is going to be the keynote speaker. The governor does plan on attending, and they're hoping to live stream it there.
And where is it located?
It's at North Phoenix Baptist Church.
Oh my gosh.
Is that open to the public?
It was advertised and promoted. They have since closed the registration.
Okay, you had to register. Okay, so it's too late to take part in that.
Okay, yeah, good. Okay, I'm glad we know about that, because that's something we need to talk about. Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Oh, that's so great. Okay, Paula, well, I hope you get, what was the number from last year? Did you say 45,000?
Yes, 45,090 entries. And we have our 8 speaker towers. If they go to our website, honoringamericasveterans.org, they can see where the speaker towers are. And at the speaker towers, we also have print programs. The program is already posted online. So if you want to kind of, you know, figure out what entry you want to really hang out and see, you can. And we have 2 new balloons this year. We have the Purple Heart Medal that was commissioned by George Washington, and that's in honor of the 249-250 celebration that's going on this year and next. And then we brought back Uncle Sam, and he has a cute little white hat. So you'll see him.
That's amazing.
Okay.
And you've got a special guest too, Randy Couture, right?
He is wonderful. He has been so nice. He started his wrestling career in the Army with the 101st Airborne Division, and got into wrestling. Got out of the Army, became a heavyweight champion. Then got into business. He started a couple of businesses and a nonprofit called Merging Vets and Players, because he saw the need for people to kind of stay active emotionally and physically after they get out of the service, because you do build a real strong bond when you're in the military. And then he was also in the movies, The Expendables with Sly Stallone. So we're excited to have him.
Yeah, that's a big gift for sure. All right, congratulations ahead of time on what's going to be a great big success, Paula. And we'll look forward to seeing how great things are come Tuesday, Veterans Day.
Yeah, thank you,
2025.
Thanks, you guys.
Okay. Hey, Des, I just thought in the last couple of minutes that we should talk about Google has come out with moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, aunts and uncles, etc. If you're still looking for some gift idea. It's only the November the 7th. I think you're probably fine. Did you find this interesting? You want to run through the list of some of the most recent and most heavily searched Christmas gift ideas?
Yes. So I'm surprised by this one. Spiking 945% this year was the search for movie projector.
Really?
And home projectors jumped about 60%.
Those are coming back. It's retro, but it's a thing now, huh?
I guess so. And it makes sense for us here in Arizona. That'd be a pretty cool gift or experience to give somebody, because the weather is great. I mean, most of the year. So you can grab a projector and put it out in the backyard.
Yes.
That'd be a perfect little movie night.
Searches for red light therapy have reached an all-time high this year.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that's all about. We should probably talk to somebody on a future episode of Ron
you learned a
and
thing or two
Des.
yesterday about the vibration plate.
Yeah, we did.
Red light therapy nights.
I know, right? Let's make ourselves...
I don't know what health benefits it has. I don't know. It's good for a lot of things. We'll have to get an expert in on that, Dave.
I just know that you have to pay extra for it at the gym.
At the gym. Oh, boy.
So let's see. Anything else on the kids' scooters?
Kids'
are up 50% this year?
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
And crescent bags are a thing.
Okay.
I don't know. What is that?
I don't know.
Ronnie, do you know what a crescent bag is?
No.
I'm like, is it a purse or something?
Yeah. Well,
it's this year's breakout bag.
Okay,
we
are going to say our goodbyes right here. I heard this is great video, so we'll say goodbye with this coming in right now. The penguins marching to the sea in Antarctica. If you've never been there and probably never will, that's probably all of us. This is what it would look like as the penguins march right off the rock. Have a great day.
weekend.